What happens when we take our last breath? Does the self dissolve into nothingness, or does it pass through gateways beyond human comprehension? Welcome, traveler of the unknown, to the deepest mystery of existence. Today, we embark on a journey into one of the most enigmatic and profound texts of Tibetan Buddhism, the Bardo Thodol, known in the West as the Tibetan Book of the Dead. This is no mere book of rituals or funerary rites. It is a guide, an intricate map of the soul's passage through the realms beyond death, offering insights into what it means to truly exist. Imagine a guide that illuminates the darkest and most bewildering moments of transition, a beacon for those crossing the threshold between life and death. The Bardo Thodol serves this very purpose. It does not merely describe the end, it provides direction, a spiritual compass for navigating what comes after. In this journey, we will explore its teachings, decode its messages, and perhaps come closer to understanding the nature of consciousness itself. The origins of this sacred text trace back to Padmasambhava, a legendary and almost mythical figure in Tibetan Buddhism. Born in India, he is revered as the master who brought Buddhism to Tibet in the 8th century. Known as Guru Rinpoche, or the Precious Master, he was more than a monk. He was a spiritual luminary, a yogi who had mastered the deepest mystical arts and esoteric teachings. His wisdom extended beyond the realm of the living. He sought to guide not only those in life, but also those who had left it behind, offering them a final path to liberation. From an early age, Padmasambhava displayed extraordinary spiritual abilities. Recognized as a Mahasiddha, a being of profound realization, he possessed knowledge and powers that seemed miraculous. His destiny led him to Tibet, where he was invited by King Trisong Detsen, a ruler determined to establish Buddhism in his land. But the task was far from simple. Tibet was a place of powerful shamanic and animist traditions rooted in the Bon religion, an indigenous spiritual practice. This deeply ingrained belief system resisted the spread of Buddhism, and even the very land seemed to rebel against the arrival of this new faith. Padmasambhava faced opposition not only from people but from the unseen forces that governed the Tibetan landscape. The spirits and deities of the Bon tradition were hostile to change. But rather than opposing them, Padmasambhava used his mastery of tantric rituals and spiritual magic to integrate them into Buddhist cosmology. He tamed these forces, transforming them into protectors rather than adversaries, solidifying the foundation of Tibetan Buddhism. With this, he established Tibet's first monastery, Samye, and began teaching the nature of reality, the mind, and the endless cycle of existence known as samsara. In Tibetan Buddhism, death is not the end, but a transition, a moment when the veil between worlds is lifted, revealing possibilities of spiritual liberation. Padmasambhava understood that, in the instant of death, the mind is freed from the distractions of the physical body. It becomes more receptive to the ultimate truth. But he also knew that, unprepared, most souls become lost, overwhelmed by fear, illusions, and attachments that bind them to the cycle of suffering. To assist them, he composed the Bardo Thodol, a guide meant to be read to the dying, preparing them for the journey ahead. It is an act of profound compassion, a map designed to ease suffering and open the door to enlightenment, even when all seems lost. The Bardo Thodol describes 3 crucial stages of transition, known as bardos, that every soul traverses after death. Each is a test, an opportunity, and a revelation. The first is Chikai Bardo, the moment of death itself. Here, the physical body dissolves, and consciousness is released from its material confines. What follows is a vision of the primordial clear light, a radiant, pure brilliance that is nothing less than the true nature of the mind. This light is absolute consciousness, beyond duality, beyond fear or attachment. Some might call it the higher self, the solar mind, or divine awareness, but its essence remains the same, an infinite, unconditioned state of being. For the spiritually prepared, this moment offers the chance for final liberation. If the soul recognizes the clear light as its own essence, it attains instant enlightenment, nirvana, ending the cycle of birth and rebirth. But for most, this light is overwhelming, even terrifying. The mind, still bound by earthly fears and habits, retreats, unable to grasp the truth of its own being. Those who turn away from the light are drawn deeper into the next stage of the Bardos. This second stage is Chonyid Bardo, the Bardo of visions. Here, consciousness is stripped of its physical form and enters a realm where thoughts and emotions take on vivid, tangible reality. What unfolds is a projection of the mind itself. Every fear, every desire, every hidden aspect of the self manifests as powerful visions. The soul is confronted with two kinds of apparitions, peaceful and wrathful deities. The peaceful deities appear first, radiant and benevolent, embodying the soul's virtues and spiritual potential. They welcome the soul, offering paths to enlightenment. But for many, these visions are incomprehensible or overwhelming, leading the soul to recoil in confusion. If the peaceful deities are not recognized, the visions shift. The soul then encounters the wrathful deities, terrifying and monstrous figures that embody suppressed fears, unresolved emotions, and karmic burdens. These are not external demons, but reflections of the soul's inner struggles. They roar and rage, their presence overwhelming, yet they hold a crucial lesson. To transcend suffering, one must face oneself without fear. If the soul can recognize these terrifying forms as mere projections, it can dissolve them and move toward liberation. But if fear prevails, the journey continues. The final stage is Sidpa Bardo, the Bardo of rebirth. Here, the soul reaches a crossroads, the moment where it is drawn back into the cycle of existence. By now, it has experienced dissolution, faced its own mind, and reached a state of heightened psychic sensitivity. But unresolved desires and attachments still exert their pull, and it is these forces that dictate the circumstances of the next life. At this stage, the soul sees visions of potential new lives, symbolized by images of parents in union. The pull toward a new body becomes irresistible, shaped by the energies accumulated in past existences. Fear, longing, and karmic imprints act as unseen forces, guiding the soul toward a rebirth that mirrors its unresolved lessons. Yet, even in this final moment, there remains a choice: to enter another cycle of existence or to break free entirely. For those who have cultivated deep awareness, the Sidpa Bardo presents one last opportunity for transcendence. By recognizing the illusions of rebirth, one can dissolve attachment and merge with the clear light, achieving true liberation. But for most, the cycle continues. A new life begins, shaped by the echoes of the past. The Bardo Thodol is more than an ancient manuscript. It is a mirror to the mind, a map of the soul's journey, and a reminder that death is not an end, but a passage. As Ram Dass once said, When you die, there is only one question that matters. How much did you love? The Tibetan Book of the Dead invites us to ask, are we prepared for this final journey? Are we ready to let go of everything we think we are? Perhaps, by contemplating these teachings, we can prepare not only for death, but also for a life lived with greater awareness, courage, and clarity. If this journey into the unknown resonated with you, support Shadows and Secrets by subscribing, leaving a like, and exploring more mysteries with us. Let us know in the comments, what intrigues you most about life after death? That said, thank you and see you next time.